Good evening, everybody. It's Shelley Johns here from Gympie. I am a Herbalife coach. I've been a coach for 27 years now, and I love helping people with nutrition and fitness and mindset. So tonight's call is open to everyone, and it's all about your mindset and goal setting. So we really want to help you finish off the year strong, and then we also want to help you have an amazing 2019 and beyond. Okay, so let's go on to the first slide. Real quick. Okay, so you want to start your day with energy and enthusiasm. So, and sometimes it's hard when maybe you work in a job you don't like. Now, I'm just going to mute everyone just because there's a little bit of feedback. So let me just mute, and then I can unmute you if I need to. Okay, cool. So, sometimes you might not be in a job you like or a relationship you like or anything like that. There's lots of things that can drain your energy and make you feel not as enthusiastic about getting out and seizing the day. So I want you to wake up and be awesome, and I want you to have energy throughout the day and have that feeling of you want to get out of bed because you're excited about what's going to happen for your day. Okay, so I've got some questions that I've got from this book. So let's go on to the next slide. So this comes from Awaken the Giant Within, which is the Tony Robbins book. You'll see the title up here. So we've been reading this one. It's been fantastic. So basically it says our life experience is based on what we focus on. So the questions are designed to cause you to experience more happiness, excitement, pride, gratitude, joy, commitment, and love every day of your life. So these are called morning power questions, okay? So I've been doing this probably for every day, every morning and every night. I'll do the evening ones with you as well. So I want you to have a think about these, that if you were to ask yourself, so instead of the alarm going off and going snooze, 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 or do I have to get up? I'm so tired. I've got to drive in traffic, or I hate my job. I hate my boss, or whatever goes through your mind, and you actually started your day this way, no matter what you're doing in your life, what sort of attitude would you have when you left the house or when you approached your whatever you were doing? So here's the questions. I want you to write them down. I also urge you to go and get the Tony Robbins book. So the first question is, what am I happy about in my life right now? And the key is to come up with a few things. And if you can't think of anything, because sometimes this can happen, you might have had a challenging night, or you didn't sleep, or something's happened. What could you be happy about? So instead of am, change am to could, if you can't think of anything. So I know that I'll just unmute everyone, and so I can get some feedback. So, so Lindy, what would you be happy about in your life right now?
Wow, I'm stuck for words. What am I happy about? I'm just very generally in peace and very happy at myself at the moment. So I'm very happy that I've got my good health.
Yep. Jan, what are you happy about?
I'm happy about that I went to the dentist and I didn't have as much to have done as regards fillings and things as I had him fixed in my mind I would have to. I only had to have 2 fillings, and I haven't been for a couple of years because I kept putting it off. So I'm very happy about my teeth.
Oh. So Steve, what are you happy about?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can kind of see an extreme close-up of you. That's all. Where are you? Oh, there you go.
My computer is updating and I'm on my laptop, my iPad. Sorry.
That's okay. Yep, we can see you now.
Okay. What am I happy about? I'm happy that I'm healthy, I'm fit. I have a job. I have a roof over my head. I have money in my pocket. Yeah, I'm fairly happy out of not having got a lot of debt.
That's good. There's great things to be happy about. I'm not sure if you can talk tonight, Lydia, but happy anniversary. I'm sure that's something you're happy about today.
Hi, Shelley.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Cool. Yes, thank you very much. Just happy that my 3 girls are healthy. Happy that I've just about smashed my Christmas list, and I'm lining up all my ducks and they're just going down, 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 leading up to Christmas. So
Awesome. So our happiness, what we're happy about, can be from the very simplest thing to the biggest thing. And so then we go through the rest of the questions. What am I excited about in life right now? And sometimes that can be hard to go, well, you know, I'm not excited about anything. So what are you motivated to do? Might be another one. Or enthusiastic about, if you change the word, if it makes it easier. Could be, what am I proud of, grateful for? What am I enjoying the most in my life? What am I committed to? And who do I love and who loves me? And so when you go through all these questions, and so I've been doing, like I said, these every morning for at least probably the last month to 6 weeks, and it's been fantastic. I'm absolutely loving it. And then I'm just going to go through the evening questions. So has everyone written these down?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Does anyone need more time?
Yes.
You need time, Steve?
Oh, way behind.
That's okay. I'll wait. There's no rush. So I want you to think about the quality of questions that you're asking yourself on a daily basis, because this all ties in with visualization, our goals, and our mindset and our attitude, everything. And it's great to do with your partner if you've got a partner or a friend as well. It's you know, you can have a bit of fun with it then as well.
In one of the books that I'm reading right now, I've gone through and taken different excerpts and put it into my own words. And I've before I go to sleep, I get into a really, because sometimes, you know, with the activities of the kids, I get a little bit hard to calm myself down. Mm-hmm. So I've recorded about a 2.5 minute, almost like a positive mantra. And so I play it first thing in the morning and last thing at night.
Yep, which I think is excellent to do, and I've got a few things to do with that. So,
just filling the brain with good and getting rid of the bad, I suppose.
Yeah, and you know, it can be hard to focus on the bad sometimes. So
absolutely.
Okay, so that's your morning questions, and we won't go through every single one, but I want you to think of 2 or 3 things that you could say. And sometimes I'm saying the same things all the time, and other times it's something very simple, or something that I'm just focusing on, or it's something where I'm thinking outside myself. So it doesn't really matter, as long as it's something that you're committed to and having that gratitude for. I think that's the most important thing. So I'm just checking. Okay, so let's go on with, this is our evening power questions. So this is what you end your day with. Now, there's 2 things you can do. You can revisit the morning questions if you felt like you needed to add them in. That's an option. But these are the 3 that you finish your day with. So what have I given today? And sometimes after a tough day, that can be a hard thing. You know, sometimes I've gone, what did I learn? I've tried to think about what did I learn. So often it might have just been something new. So lucky that we're reading a lot and listening to things a lot. So it's very easy then to pick up even just one tiny thing that you might have learned, which is good. And how has today added to the quality of my life? Or how can I use today as an investment in my future? So these are really good questions to ask at the end. So generally I'm doing these when I first wake up in the morning, before I read some personal development or listen to something, and then just before going to bed. So they're excellent ways to start and finish your day. Okay. So yeah, and the Anthony Robbins book's great, because we know that he was taught by Jim Rohn, and he has lots of different exercises that you can do, like the values list that we did. I found that was really great. So we've just made up a whole new values list and put it out here in where everyone can see it. So that was really great, having that in full view and expanding on that as well, and to, you know, the sort of people that we want to become as leaders in the future and how we want to impact our families' lives. So these are the questions that I really want you to, I think, start as soon as you can. If you even start tonight with these questions, this is what you want to do every single day. Okay, and definitely let me know how you're going, even on the group, or even if you PM me or text me or email me, and just let me know if you've been doing them and how it helps just to change your attitude and make some different changes in your life. So now we're going to go on to goals. So this is the definition of a goal. It's the object of a person's ambition or effort, an aim or a desired result. And you need to have some strong reasons. You need to have some reasons that are strong enough to keep you going when it's tough or challenging. Okay, so this is why they call it your why. And sometimes people get stuck on this, but it just needs to be strong enough to stop you from quitting. Okay, it's easy to quit, it's easy to give up, but you want to have such a strong reason to do something that it's going to get you through when the going gets tough, because you will get challenged, okay, and tested if there's something you really want to do in your life. You've got to expect it, and the only way to be strong enough to get past it is to keep working on yourself. Okay, so what do you want? So some people don't even know what they want. And one of the things that I love about Herbalife is that they put a lot of goals and promotions up already. So they've got different levels in the company that you can achieve. They've got different, like at the moment with the Christmas promotions or the Christmas catalog, there's so many things that you can qualify for in Herbalife. So they give you promotions and goals to go for while you're working out other things that you want to do in your life anyway. Okay, so I love this picture with the lion. It's very cute. So the sort of goals that you want daily goals, weekly goals, yearly goals, even like, you know, longer decade goals and maybe a century goal. I don't know, depends on how long you want to live for.
150, woohoo!
Yeah, it's probably possible, you know. And you want them to be as detailed as possible. So I want to go through something that I just did recently and I found it really effective. This is from Think and Grow Rich. So I want you to write this down. So if you haven't got Think and Grow Rich, I'm sure most of you do. And I must admit, when I first read this book, I found it really difficult to read. I just had to keep reading the same pages all the time. It just didn't seem to sink in. So this time round that I'm doing it, it's making more sense. Maybe I'm more ready for it and to put it into action. So this is the method by which desire for riches, or whatever your goal is, can be transmuted into its financial equivalent. Consists of 6 definite practical steps. Okay, so number 1, you want to fix in your mind the exact amount of money you desire. Okay, there is a psychological reason for being very definite about this. You don't want to say, I just want to have lots of money. It's got to be an amount. Okay, so we're going to do this. So I want you to think about the amount. Okay, it might be 10,000, it might be 50,000, it might be $1 million, it might be 10 million or more. You know, it's whatever you're in your mind, you're thinking that amount. And then you want to determine exactly what you intend to give in return for the money you desire. Okay, so what sort of service or value? So for example, I'll go through the one in a minute that I've written out. So then you want to establish a definite date when you intend to possess the money you desire. So you definitely have to put a date, and we all know this anyway about goals. And then you want to create a definite plan for carrying out your desire. So it's got to be in quite detail. And then you begin at once, whether you're ready or not, to put this plan into action. Then you write out a clear and concise statement, the amount, the date, etc., what you will give in return, and describe the plan clearly in detail. And then you want to read it out aloud twice each day, just before bed and when you wake up. And there's one extra ingredient which I'll go through as well. So as you read, and this is something Jan's really good at, as you read, you want to see, feel, and believe yourself already in possession of the money. So you've heard Jan talk about qualifying for different things, like the one with Mark Hughes where they're on the dance floor because she'd already seen it, and visualize it as it already happened. Okay, so I'll give you an example of the one that I've just written out. Is that I will have $1 million through various means by December 31st, 2020, by giving, you know, exceptional value and products and service to, you know, by person, town by town, and helping people to see the bigger picture and what's possible. So that's basically, and that obviously would be through weekly HOMs, going to see people face to face and person to person, going town to town. So that's basically a plan that I put into place to achieve by that date. Okay, doesn't have to be $1 million. It's got to be something you're comfortable with. Okay, so I don't know, has anyone heard that story with Jim Carrey, where he had the services rendered for acting for $10 million, and he wrote the check out and he put it in his wallet, and even when he didn't have any money, he'd drive up into like Beverly Hills and look at some of the houses and different things, and he'd imagine himself, and it was all crumpled and wrinkled because he'd carried it sometimes, and it was when he wasn't even getting, you know, he didn't have any money. And basically, you know, over a few years of doing small roles and things like that, eventually he got paid $10 million for doing Dumb and Dumber. Okay, because he had the belief. He said he would actually drive up in Beverly Hills or different places that were quite affluent, and he would actually visualize himself already there, living there, getting paid that amount, being paid that money for acting services. So he'd spend time doing it every single day. So, and this is it here. So has everyone written these steps?
Mm-hmm.
The amount of money that you, exact amount of money, what you intend to give, what's the date you intend to possess the money you desire. Create a definite plan, so you can add to this plan as you go. And reading it now, you need to commit to reading it twice a day. So does anyone want to share with me what they've come up with?
Shelley, several years ago, talking about the future.
I'm going to mute so there's no feedback. Okay, try that again.
Okay, several years ago in Sydney, Marcel Isley, he wasn't president's team member then, but Gary and Jennifer had a promotion. I forget what the qualification was, but the end prize was $10,000 cash. And anyway, you know, we were all going for it, obviously. And Marcel, he was the one who got a check and wrote out $10,000 on it, and he duplicated it and had it set up, you know, a few different places, one in front of him in the office, I think, one at home on the bathroom mirror, a few, I think, the dashboard of the car, and a few places he had this $10,000 check. Guess who won the prize? Marcel Isley. He got $10,000 cash from Jennifer and Gary. So that sort of thing definitely works.
Absolutely. So that's a perfect example of how this goes. And there's a couple little ingredients as well, which I'm going to share with you on the next slide. So is there anyone, if you just want to put up your hand, that wants to share what they wrote? Someone's going to be brave. So I'm just unmuting everyone. There was a bit of feedback, that was all. So
yeah.
Oh, what did I do? I jumped ahead. That doesn't sound like me. Does that anyone want to share their what they wrote? It's okay if you don't. I'll get, because it took a little bit of time for me to come up with mine. So maybe we can get you to share them on Challenge Yourself Daily. How does that sound?
That sounds like a plan.
Cool. So yeah, so I want you to really think about this, and I definitely recommend, if you haven't got Think and Grow Rich, that you go and get that copy of that book. I know that Jennifer and Gary often gave that a lot as gifts, which is fantastic. There are a lot of our end of the year things and different qualifications, so that was always a great way. I've accumulated lots of great books from you, Jennifer, doing that. Thank you. So there's a couple other ingredients. Yes, you want to write it out, but you need more than words. Okay, just reading the statement isn't enough. You need to add emotion and feelings with your words. Emotional words influence the subconscious mind. So if you just read something, I want $1 million by 31st of December 2020. But if you're like, oh, you know, and you feel it and you see it, and you're getting all that, like Jim Rohn says, there's drama in the detail. You need to have emotions and feelings with the words. Okay. So this is important as well. So it's got to be something that's fairly important to you and that strikes home as well. So we'll spend a bit of time doing this, and this is one that you're going to have your statement. So you'll have it next to your bed, because you're going to be reading it every morning. You're going to read it every night. You're going to be doing your quality questions every morning and every night. So Jennifer, I'm just going to flick back just so you can have a quick look at the questions, even though this will be recorded. So these are the morning questions that we start each day with. Is it here? So these are our morning power questions, which is in Tony Robbins' Awaken the Giant Within. You might have already read this before.
Right.
So what am I happy about in my life right now? What am I excited about? What am I proud about? What am I grateful for? What am I enjoying? What am I committed to? And who do I love and who loves me? And it's a really fantastic way to start your day. So basically I do this every single morning. And then at night, I do the evening power questions. What have I given today? What did I learn today? And how has today added to the quality of my life? Or how can I use today as an investment in my future? So it's such a great way. And it's only 3 little questions. So if you've had a really busy day and you're tired, you've only got 3 questions to answer. And obviously after a while, you know I'm off by heart anyway. You don't actually have to look at the book anymore. So these are 2 great things. So I'll put these slides up on the group too, so that you can access them. So this is a really fantastic way to start and end every day, including then we do the statement. Then we add our statement into it using emotions and feelings. So something that really we feel strong about. And then we're going to go on to then working out some of our goals and putting some time frames on them. So do you have a goals list? So who on this, if you want to put your hand up, who's actually got a goals list? Cool. So have you written it down?
Yep.
Cool. And then the next question, if I can find the next arrow, do you have it with you every day?
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. So great thing to carry it with you. I've got mine in my diary, so now obviously it's going into the new year. I'm going to have to put it in the new diary. So you want to have it, you want to have goals. You want to have them written down because as we know, Jim Rohn always said, you can't remember every good idea you hear. And there's something about when you put pen and paper, and I know, Jennifer, you're really big on this, not just taking screenshots and photos of everything, but actually sitting and writing at trainings and things, because you actually absorb it more, you learn it more, it means more to you when you can write it. So not only are you writing it and hearing it and seeing it, but then you record it as well. So it's actually a lot more powerful than just going snap, taking a screenshot. It's not.
I think in some of the books that, or most of the books I've been reading, they're saying that, you know, like I suppose if you do a shopping list and you write it down, you go to the shops, you buy what's on the list.
Yep.
So in putting it then, the thoughts then on paper and making that concrete makes room for more good stuff to go in. So it's just a bit of a cycle, isn't it?
Yep.
A good cycle.
Cool. So you definitely want to have them with you every day, even on a small piece of paper and you've got them in your purse or your bag or in your diary. And, you know, what you want to do is you want to create a life that you don't need to escape from. And we know that most people spend more time planning their Friday night or the end of the year holiday more than their lives and future, right? They're waiting for the weekend. And it's interesting because I often get it. People going, oh, you know, are you looking forward to the weekend? I go, not really. Every day is like a weekend for me. And they just look at like you're nuts. Or are you looking forward to the holidays? I said, no, every day is kind of like the holidays. I get to do what I want and I get to do what I love. And most people aren't used to hearing that. But you know what? Every person can have that opportunity. So, you know, this is why we want to show people that they can have a life they don't need to escape from. And the only way they're going to change it is if they continue to work on themselves every single day. Okay, so what's your motivation? I love this thing here. It says, I don't run, so if you ever see me running, you should run too because something is probably chasing me. I thought that was quite funny. But, you know, what's your motivation? You want to create goals that are going to make you want to jump out of bed each morning, okay? You want to be excited about every day. And it's not always easy because sometimes we've got lots of things we're sort of juggling, but you want to have something dangling in front of you. And actually I've heard Jan and Jennifer and Irene particularly say this, that in your 70s, you don't want to retire. You've got a purpose and a passion and you've got something that, you know, that's to live for basically, you know, you've got no, you know, no plans to retire at all. I want to be that way too. You know, how cool is that? So the 4 great motivators is recognition. We've actually heard this, that people will do more for recognition than they will for money, and this is true. People love to be recognized, and most people don't get it in their families or their relationships or their normal jobs. So it's great to have so much recognition in our own group, so from our peers and you know, like-minded people that we've set up, and at the trainings and things like that as well. People like the feeling of winning, okay? We love to win and achieve, and we should want to do that. It's great to be able to achieve something. Our family motivators, a lot of people do things for their family, and benevolence, being able to pay it forward and give back, okay? So they're the great 4 motivators that most people will do something they don't normally do. So this is how we're going to set up the goals. So if you've got a pen and paper, we're going to do a bit of brainstorming. So I want you to, using these headings, what do I want to do in my life? What do I want to be? What do I want to see? What do I want to have? So that's more possessions and stuff. Where do I want to go? And what would I like to share? And this can be 1 to 10 years or more. You can extend it out over 10 years if you wish to. And I just want you to spend 5 minutes brainstorming on a piece of paper or in your notebook, just all different things. It doesn't matter. We're not going to put the time frame on yet, so just brainstorm, okay? So let's do 5 minutes. I'll just check my phone. Make sure we stay on time. So this is your brainstorming part.
Good. Oh, that makes sense.
There's a cake in the stove in the room. There's a cake in the room. Yes.
Okay. So we've got a couple more minutes, so keep writing as much as you possibly can. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've got 11 goals so far. So how's everyone going? It can be anything though. It doesn't have to be even Herbalife related. It's anything at all. It's not what Herbalife can allow you to do even. Okay, so once you've got that list, let me just click on to the next slide. Okay, so you want to spend a few minutes brainstorming and writing as many short and long-term goals as you can. Then we're going to add a 1, a 3, a 5, a 7, or a 10 or more next to each one, depending on when you want to do it, okay? And what I want you to do is I want you to add to this as you go. So over the next days and months, you keep adding, you review it as well because it may change. And so basically what you do is once you've numbered them all, you actually then rewrite your list and you put all your 1-year goals together on one page, your 3, your 5, your 7, your 10, etc. You because you'll number them all, then you'll rewrite the list, okay?
One, 3, 4. Oh, do I have to do 1, 3, 5, 10? God.
Okay. So it should end up, by the time you keep brainstorming, you should end up with kind of the same amount of 1 year, a 3 year, 5 years. Like it should be fairly even. I'm just having a look here and I can see that I've only got one 1 year goal. I've got a couple of 2 year goals, even though I haven't put 2. That's kind of where I felt. So 1 and 2 I'd probably lump in together. So I'll just go through the list of what I come up with, just so you've got some ideas. So in my 1 to 2 years, I've got give 10% of our earnings every single year to give it to charity or wherever it can go. Bungee jump and skydive. Be a great leader inspiring thousands of people. That's in my 1 to 2 years. In my 3 years, I've got visit the pyramids and Machu Picchu. I've got see Queen perform. Obviously, I know Freddie Mercury isn't alive anymore, but the band Queen and whatever singer they've got, and Pink. Learn to ride a motorbike, because it's something I've always been scared to do because I had a few bad experiences. So want to overcome that fear. 5 years, I've got become a president's team maker and developer. Have a beautiful farm and a beautiful home. And become #1 in Queensland. So hope you're okay. That was Jennifer. Are you okay for me to be #1 in Queensland? 7-year goal list is learn the guitar and piano and write some songs. I kind of like being creative. Have lots of animals on our property. Become a Chairman's Club member within 7 years. And that's all the goals that I've written so far. So one of my goals is to live to 120. So obviously that will go in a longer time frame. So that's some of the goals that I've written down just then, even though I've have a lot of, and there can be many, many more. And it's not all materialistic. Yes, we all want the cars and homes and everything like that, and real estate. I love that Jennifer's right into real estate. She's so inspiring that I understand that that's what Herbalife can allow you to do, you know, develop your passion and build up, you know, like equity that way, and that nest egg. I just love that. It's something I'm really interested in. So yeah, so there's many things, from the simplest little thing to something that's really important. It can be putting your kids through a school or university, helping them to buy their first home, helping your parents out, whatever it might be. There's so much scope. So did anyone want to share some of their 1-year goals of what you've got?
Hi, Shelley. Lydia here.
Hi, Lydia. Oh, let me just flick through. Hi, Lydia.
Yeah, so one of my 2-year goals would be to put away enough money to pay cash for Indy's races.
Awesome. That's a great goal. So what's the amount of money?
That's about 8,500.
Yep. So you're going to put that as one of your
That's my
statements.
2-year goal.
So are you going to do that as a statement as well that you could read each day and night?
Yeah. Yep.
You could do that, write that out, and exactly what you're going to do to achieve that. That would be a great one. Or you can have a bigger income goal, and that's included in it as well. So
that's right. Yeah, lots of little 1-year and 2-year ones on my goal list.
Awesome. Yeah, so sometimes you can find that. So if you find it's a little bit heavy in one area, you know you also need to develop some mid-range goals and some long-term goals. So that's quite you know, balanced, I suppose.
Yeah.
Which is fine. There's nothing wrong with the short-term ones, but make sure you've got some longer ones along the way. So Jan, what was one of your 1-year or 3-year goals?
Probably a 2-year one. I'd like to go to China. We were talking about that at the weekend.
Cool.
And visit the warriors, the buried warriors. I've always loved them. So that's always been on my goal list. And obviously, probably wouldn't be able to walk it, but I would like to be able to see the Great Wall of China as well.
Awesome. Well, lucky you know someone that loves China. There you go with. So that's awesome. I love that goal, and I think that would be great too. That's something I love, the warriors too. That really fascinates me. Anything to do with architecture and that ancient you know, history, I just love. What about you, Jennifer? What's your 1 or 3-year goals?
So did you ask me then, Shelley?
Yes, Jennifer. Yep.
Okay. Well, actually, I haven't yet put the numbers on it, because when you said 1 year, at this point in time, I seem to have so many things going on. I'm thinking, what could I have time for in 1 year? I think this year it's a matter of doing all the things and getting things done. And I have to admit, I've been getting a lot of things done. So, yeah, I haven't actually put down a 1 year that I want to do specifically, but I have many things happening and many doors have opened, and I can't complain at all. So I'm really happy.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, well, you have had a lot going on, and you've done a lot as well. But all the places you've been to already. So just in the last 12 months, it's been amazing. So Steve, did you want to share any 1 or 3 year goals? I'm not sure if you muted yourself, if I muted you. Yep.
Yeah. My 1 year goal, well, probably less than 1 year, I would like to finally get myself to get to.
Awesome. I like that.
That's one of my main goals at the moment for the first, hopefully by June next year.
Cool. So there's a big good one for the statement that we did earlier, like we're working out obviously, the income of a Get team member, then the date that you're going to do that by, what you're going to give in return to achieve that. That would be great to have, because it probably is perfect in alignment with that goal.
I've got that in my room.
Which would be great. So what about Jill and Lindy on a 5-year goal? Have you got any 5-year goals you wanted to share?
Oh, that's good, because my 1 and 3 year goals have been covered by most. The 5-year goal for me, because of the boys, the one thing I've noticed is that particularly like my boys being profoundly disabled, when they leave school, there's not a lot for them. And I have a love for gardening. So what I'd like to be able to do in a 5-year goal is to find a piece of land and have a disabled garden that's got wheelchair access and level paths where the wheelchair can go up and they can be interactive in it. And so the carers can help them. That would, I don't know, that's something I'd have to price, but that would be a nice goal. And of course the other one is I've given a 5-year one to get to Pres team. So head down, bum up, here I go.
Yep. Awesome.
No.
So, Jill, got anything you can think of that you'd like to say?
You have to say something.
No, I don't really have anything to add at the moment.
Okay. That's okay. In the new year, Jill, when we know we're going to have you talking and sharing more. Don't you worry.
Oh, that's the goal.
Yep. Well, let me just flick through and see if I've missed anyone. Hang on 2 seconds. I don't like to miss anyone that might like to have shared. Okay, so I think that's everyone. So let's just finish off with some 7 and 10 year goals just to get some long range. So Lydia, did you have a long range goal for like 7 or 10 years?
Can you hear me, Shelley?
Yep.
So yeah, I would like to add another 30,000 to a deposit on a home if we don't have one by then.
Yep.
That's my long-term one.
Awesome. Great. Jan, 7 or 10?
10 years, my goodness me, I'd be 88. So I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead.
Like lucky 88.
Well, a healthy 88.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's good. Healthy, happy, abundant. I think that's a fantastic goal.
Yeah, a healthy 88. Yeah, but still able to do things.
Absolutely. Jennifer?
Well, I just have so many things going on in my life. What do I want to do in that amount of time? I don't know. I'm terrible, isn't it? I suppose I'm supposed to be here knowing. I do know, all I can say is that every day of my life I have something really fulfilling to do. So I think Herbalife has given me just so many goals and so many things to do that I don't ever seem to be lacking in anything that I want. And I think what I've also found is that whenever you start working towards anything, whether it's, like in respect of Herbalife generally, whether it's your own business, whatever you do, it's quite amazing how, some people might want to say it's your little angel or whatever it is, but the universe, God, whatever it is, that you will be given things just simply because you earned it. And sometimes, you weren't actually thinking of that thing at the moment, whether it's that holiday to China, which incidentally happened to me once, because as a child, I always wanted to go to China and Tibet. And then many years later, my friend just rang and said to me, I'm going to China next month. Do you want to come? And I thought, this is amazing, because I hadn't been thinking about it, but it was like given to me. And many things have been given to me as a course of me working. And suddenly it's like that little, somebody comes along and gives you, a Valentine present or a Christmas present. And then sometimes things have happened to me in traveling, going overseas, the place I've wanted to go, like Israel. I've been twice because of my interest in history and religion. And suddenly it happens to you. And so I'm actually too, it's quite interesting because I've been saying for some time just casually, I've got to get around to getting a new car. My car's playing up, it's playing up, it's playing up. And finally my car just did play up. And I thought, well, that's it. Got to go and spend money. And my mind was saying, I don't want to spend all this money, And after I talked to myself about not wanting to spend the money, as at yesterday, it looks like I'm ready to buy a car tomorrow. And it's going to be a really hot and snazzy car. And I'm starting to enjoy it now. Before it was a bit like, I don't really want to spend the money. And then I'm looking at it a few days later saying, you know what? This will be really, really nice. And then you start looking at it from another point of view, like something you didn't necessarily go out chasing after, but sometimes the universe brings things to you because you're working. And I think most people know that I'm always working and on the job. So that's what I can say to you. If you keep working and you keep doing things and you do it with integrity, you're just absolutely going to find those things that come to you, that people offer you something, that people do things, and the universe just keeps working for you because you're working with integrity. So yes, by all means, make the goals. Think it in your mind. I know that when you start saying, "I want a home, I want to save that 30,000," you will get it because you actually put it down, and then you're working towards it bit by bit. And when you work with integrity, it will all happen for you.
Definitely. And I think Think and Grow Rich says it as well, that when you put something out there with intent and consistency, you're actually connecting with all the other energy. He calls it the ether, which is, but obviously it's the whole universal energy, and you're all connected with it. And more things of the lightness is attracted, and it will come to you. So you actually get, like you said, these opportunities and things of lightness get attracted as well. And you have to know that it's actually a scientifically proven thing. So you may as well use it because it's available and it works, and it's been proven to work. So people call it many different things, but it's the formula is the same. And so you've just got to believe it. And sometimes we think maybe it seems too simple. And it doesn't have to be. It can be. We don't have to complicate it. Just keep it simple and believe in it, and do it. Do it every single day. So I want you to keep adding to your goals. Is anyone that would be happy to share it on Challenge Yourself Daily? No pressure, but if you'd like to do that, more than happy for you to do that. So definitely you want to get the 2 books already that I've been talking about, and then the next one. I'm just trying to think where I've got my slideshow up to. So the true purpose of a goal, as we know, is not to achieve the goal, but what you become in the person you become in achieving it. The growth and the challenges and the problem solving and all those things. So you actually become someone that has more skills and more value and more confidence because you achieve that goal. Okay, and most of the things don't fall in our laps. So usually we've got to work for it and get knocked back. I mean, how many times do we hear? Even, with Edison with a light bulb, how many times, 10,000 times he tried to create the light bulb, and he never saw it as a failure. He just saw it as another way not to create a light bulb. But he knew that didn't work, and he went on to the next one. Watched a movie about McDonald's, how McDonald's was, I think Michael Keating was the main character. It was really, really interesting. I can't remember what it was called now, but it was a great movie. He was so persistent, and he just, as soon as he saw the McDonald's name, he knew that he had to have and all these things started to happen. Like he got a tour through the restaurant, and all these things happened for him to create it. And maybe I wouldn't want to achieve what he did in the way he did it, but the principle's still there as well. He had a vision, and he just wouldn't give up. But it wasn't always easy. He got knocked back a lot. There was a lot of the problems. And how many times do we see that? So most things aren't just given to someone. They've had to work for it, and they've had to fight for it, and they've had knockbacks and failures, but they kept persisting. So make sure you have that persistence and know that it's going to make something of you.
Shelley, can I just add, when you're talking about that true purpose of your goal, and So it does get to when you're working younger, or you start in Herbalife, and so you've got specific goals that you want to earn a certain income, you want to get a house, whatever. Having been around the business for 34 years, and Gary and I obviously getting some success, I actually wrote down, when you said to put down the list of goals, and they seemed like corny kind of things that I just wrote down. But when it said, what do you want? And I wrote down, I want to be the best that I can be. And then it says, you said after that, I'm just reading my scribble, and what do you want to be? You said, what do you want? And I said, the best I can be. And then it said, after that, I wrote that I want to be respected. And then, I wrote down that, what do you want to see in the future? And I wrote down my dynasty. I want to teach my dynasty and pass it on, and have that person, be the kind of person I believe that I became along the way, And what do you have? Love, peace and contentment. So where I am now at my age and what we've achieved, I do want to have things that, as you said before, what are your goals really about, And just 2 weeks ago, and I had a number of people, just take me out for a drink for, and a dinner for lunch, and the girls and like Jan and the girls we used to dance with, and we had this lovely time. And I thought, oh, it's really nice that people care, to ask me to go somewhere. And then my accountant organised with the girls here to take me to dinner. And then next thing she's saying, we're organising your 75th birthday. And I actually felt loved. I felt I love people by finally at this age. I thought, what? I feel respected by people. I feel that they genuinely care about me. And so, that week for my birthday was really, one of those, top moments in my life that I looked and I thought, well, you've got family and you've got, you have your birthdays over the years. But I got to a stage where I thought, people respect me and people like me and people love me. And I just thought it was really nice. I feel like having a cry, actually. But, that's when you start thinking, when you look back on your life and people say, what does success mean or whatever, I just feel that, I have tried to work with integrity. I've probably made errors like anyone, but, I have tried to do my best. And I feel so grateful to all the people that are around me, including you, Shelley, because for years you've motivated me, from behind the scenes. And we always say, who motivates the leader, And so sometimes it comes from people that just hang in there. And just yesterday we went out with Jim Yeager and his wife that were in the business before Gary and I. And, and then they dropped out when their sponsor went overseas, and they didn't do it for a few years, and then they rejoined again under us. So every so often they just send us an email and a happy birthday and how are you and stuff like that. And, so I thought, wow, 34 years later, and there's some people that really have just supported us, from afar. So I don't know if this is all corny, but I just wanted to say, so you don't know, what it's about along the way. There's proper goals to work for your family. And one day it all comes together in that meaning of life, the meaning of life. You say, oh, I got it now. That's what it's all about, So I don't know if that helps anybody.
I think it does. Just appreciating, even the smallest things and being in the now and having gratitude for it as well, like being grateful for something. Yes, I think it's great. And I think that's why I love doing personal development too. So yes, it helps you to visualize and future think, but it also makes you be more in the now and in the present and enjoying what you do have. So there's that nice, healthy balance. So, and as you know, we're always taught to do more personal development, do as much as you can. And there's so many great books. This is just a few of the books. And actually the one I just read recently was this one, Jonathan Livingston Seagull. Has anyone read that one? It's such a cute book. And I really, really enjoyed it. Like I loved the whole story about the seagull. It was such a great book. And there's so many as you can come through here. And these are just a few. So just start reading and working on you and read some, 10 minutes a day, whatever you can do, turn the TV off, start listening to more things. I'm not really into TV anyway. It doesn't really do much for me. I don't mind watching a movie every now and then, but you need to work on you. Okay, because as we know, income rarely exceeds personal development. So not that I'm saying money's the be-all and end-all and the most important thing, but we actually need it. We need it to live, and that. So you actually do need it. So you want to grow, you know, try and work on yourself so you're growing and the money's chasing you, if not the other way around. You don't. This is when we see people that will win the lottery within a very short amount of time. They're either in more debt than before they won the lottery, or they've lost it all because they haven't grown into it. So it's so important that people just keep doing personal development and keep working on themselves, and that they grow, and then the income will grow with them, and it's permanent. It's going to stay. Okay. So, and you just want to improve by 1% every day. So imagine that if you only improve by 1% every day, within a year you would have improved by 365%. How cool is that? So it's just little bits, a little degree every single day, little percentage every single day. And that is the thing about consistency. And then you want to be able to pay it forward. So I know that there's so many generous people on this call, and, you know, by giving back and having that random act of kindness, and it doesn't even have to be money, but it can be just, you know, letting someone in at traffic, opening a door. You know, I don't, you know, never, you know, work for myself, and I have for a long time. I don't ever really feel like I'm in so much of a rush. I'm quite happy to let someone through. I don't, you know, I'm patient. I know that we're human and we make mistakes. I don't go off at people in traffic if they do something stupid, because you know what? We all do something stupid and one thing. So it's just not worrying about some things and just being kind, as kind as you can. It's not always easy sometimes, because, and it's got to be without thinking you're going to get it back, which is sometimes hard. And if you do that, that's, you know, paying it forward. So do it whenever you can, and just think of what can I give today. So something I do at the rehab center is I'll often do little quotes like this, and I'll let the class write some quotes on the back, and then I go into Mary Streep and I drop them randomly, like sometimes in the pockets for clothes for sale, or where, you know, the sugars are at a coffee shop, and I'll the ATM machine, and I'll leave these little things that the group's able to go and do, because they're not allowed to leave, obviously. It's a 12-week program. But I'll go and do these little random acts of kindness that they get to be involved in. So, you know, it's something fun you could do with your family. So you want to present the bigger picture at every opportunity. You want to let people know what we have to offer and be passionate about it, okay? And show what is possible, show the possibilities, and be really passionate about that. You know, because all you're really doing is you're looking for people just like you, and it's your job to go out and find them. But if you don't show the bigger picture, they're not going to know. So this is a really cool visualization exercise. And I think Gary used to do this one of the Future Get Academy, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So the power of focus. So I thought we should do this just for a little bit and see how good we are, and see how quick it takes us to get distracted. Okay? So I just think I might have lost Lindy, and I did. They must have accidentally dropped off. Hopefully they'll come back on. So you want to spend 10 minutes a day visualizing your goals. So this is something Jan is fantastic at, as if it's already been achieved. You want it to know what it looks like, what it sounds like, what it feels like, what it smells like. The more you can add in with all that emotion and feelings, the more it's going to help it to happen. So this is what we're going to do. I want you to, so I'm going to imagine a swimming pool, and in the center of the swimming pool, there's a tennis ball floating, a yellow tennis ball. So what I want you to do is I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to imagine this swimming pool. So you got to have your eyes closed. So I want you to think of this beautiful, sparkling swimming pool, and I want you to see the tennis ball, the yellow tennis ball, just bobbing up and down in the water. Just keep visualizing it. There's this beautiful thing, and I want you to concentrate on the tennis ball and keep focusing on the swimming pool with the tennis ball in it. And then just with your eyes closed, when you feel like your mind has lost focus and wandered, then I want you to open your eyes. I'm super impressed. Obviously, you've been practicing your focus, because Obviously, people lose focus a lot faster than that. So you are all pretty on par with each other, Jan, Jennifer, and Steve, just so you know. So that was really cool, and hopefully people that listen to this recording will be able to do it. How did you go, Lydia? Did you get a chance to do it?
Can you hear me, Shelley?
Yeah.
Yeah. About 10 seconds.
Yep. So we were
background noise.
Yeah, that's right. You know, we've got the kids, we've got things, and things happen. So, but apparently some people use a candle. I know there's a lot of people that use a candle where they just focus in on and they stare at a candle to improve their concentration and focus. But there's lots of other ways of doing it too. So it's a great book, and I definitely recommend if you want to start, you know, getting your visualization techniques improved and strengthened. It's just like a muscle. You're basically improving your focus and improving your visualization. All of it will help towards you achieving those goals. So how cool was that? So what is your vision, and is your daily action matching it? Because you have to put it into action. Yes, it's good to think about it and write it down and visualize it and dream about it, but we have to put it into action somehow. Something that we do each day has to go towards making, and remember, you don't have to be ready. You just have to go out and do something. Don't wait till it's perfect, because it's probably not ever going to be perfect. So I think that was the end of our goal setting. I just wanted to finish off because obviously we've got a 2-week break. So I wanted to thank everyone for being part of the calls and for being supportive of it. We really, really appreciate it, because we need each of us, for all of us to succeed. And we're going to have some great topics next year, so I will do some brainstorming with everyone and get some more topics. Obviously, we've got heaps of presentations already set in place that people can do to learn how to present as well. And so we've got 2 weeks break, and then we're into it in the new year. So I just wanted to say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to everybody.
You too, Shelley. Thank you.
Thank you. And also, I just want you to keep focused on here we are, is it the 17th? Yeah, so it's the 17th. Basically today for Country Queensland, you need to be helping your clients do their orders so they get them in time in the country areas and up until Wednesday. But as we know, sometimes that doesn't happen. But if you want your clients to have their products and your VIPs, make sure you remind them so they order. Keep a watch on the promotions that Herbalife's got, where you're doing your personally purchased 500 volume points to get these nice, cool merchandise packs. But remember, it is personally purchased. So if you've got people ordering underneath you and they've done 500, that doesn't count. It has to be under their own ID number. So just keep that. And there's a bonus one as well, that if you do 2,500 volume points personally purchased, which I'm totally going for, I think I'm up to, I haven't not personally purchased, I've done 2,800 and something, but I think 1,100 or something's personally purchased. I've got a bit of work to do, but I'm going to go for it because it's this really cool branded cooler, but we've got the drink bottle, which is really cool. So just go for those as well and help your team know about them, because that's all there, and they're giving lots of recognition for that. Also, the kickoffs that are going off in the first week of January, just be aware, and second week of January around Australia, be aware of those, and STSs, so that people can get to those. Great way to kick off the new year. We're doing a goal setting workshop in Gympie on the 5th of January at the Dex. So it's a free goal setting workshop for anyone that wants to attend. So that should be a really fantastic event. So I'm going to get out there and do a bit of promoting for that. And Jennifer, was there anything else you can think of that I might have missed?
Spectacular.
Yes,
absolutely. Everybody, you've just got to be working towards spectacular. It's the main event of the year. You know, you don't want to go like we often do. You know, Christmas happens, and you know, like you forget about it, and suddenly it's there, and you say, oh, you know, I didn't get the people I wanted to bring. And we've got these great promotions. You know, if you bring 5 people, spectacular, and you get to have, get together with Dr. Dana, and I heard about her in South Africa. They said she's fantastic. You know, I talked to a lot of people over there. What's she like? What does she present? Is there anything that we should ask her to do more? And they all said no. She was absolutely fantastic. So really looking forward to that. So look, do this. You know, just say to yourself, I'm going to get those 5 people there. I'm going to tell my team, you know, you're coming with me. We're organising, the day, we're all going to get an apartment together, whatever it takes. But Tell them that they're going and get them there. Don't give people the opportunity to say no. Just say you've got to be there because it's going to build your business. And, you know, it's amazing. I got the list tonight of so many people who have been qualifying for the Herbalife promotions. Man, there were so many names on the list. So it is interesting. You go for those little goals, you know, go for the bag, go for those things, you get excited and you say, well, I got this and I went for it. And then you up that, you know, you just up that all the time. And, you know, it's just amazing, but you've got to do something and just go for that one, that new sign up. And that's definitely that person's going. Make the arrangement, tell them to keep that date, that we're all going. That's going to be the greatest thing in their life. And, you know, yeah, we have to start walking together and start promoting together, you know, and start, you know, remembering that the figures are showing that the company is really building now. You know, we had a few years of, you know, things being a bit sort of dead, probably because of all the stuff that went on in America. But when I say dead, it wasn't because we wanted it, you know, but the figures are really going up. They're looking really fantastic. So, you know, we know, Shelley, that feeling when we talk about getting the wave, you know, you're paddling there, you've been paddling, and you can actually feel it and see it happening. And this is the year of leadership. So if you want leadership and, you know, you want to be, you know, the rising star, etc., you know, just go for it, you know. Well, I'm not allowed to talk about things that I'm not allowed to talk about, you know, secret men's business. But you know what? There's great things happening, and all I can say is start learning to qualify and start thinking about, I want to be in leadership in my area, in my country area, in Canberra, wherever it is. And having said that, I have to say, you know, Steve worked and we worked together, I don't know, whatever years, 15 years or something ago. You know, we had a meeting up at Woolloongabba and Steve used to come. And ever since, he's always remembered to send me a happy birthday. So thank you very much. Another person that's always encouraged me. And we might have seen each other for years and years in between, but he always remembered. And so little things he say about, you know, doing something nice for someone that you just don't know what it means to somebody else, you know. So we all need to do that. So, yeah, just keep going. Think of when you're at Christmas, you know, don't stop talking about Herbalife, you know. It's an amazing business and, you know, it's, you know, you've got every right to share this with everybody and then feel good about, you know, how you feel when you see how it's worked so well for somebody in your life. So Jan and I can look back at it supporting each other all these years and, you know, seeing, you know, what it means to her, what it means to me. So, you know, give yourself those memories, you know, and just everyone you talk to say, I'm getting this person to Spectacular. I'm going to show people what I can do in my area. Yep. So happy Christmas, you know.
Thank you, Jennifer. We appreciate everything you do and everything you give. And you're right, so Spectacular in Adelaide is the 8th to 11th of February, and it's going to come up quick. We're going to have Christmas and also we're going to be into January. So one of your goals for the new year should be attending the Spectacular. And how many people can I take with me? Because we've got Dan Waldron is our guest speaker. Dana it's great to have one of the doctors training. That's probably one of my favourite things is getting doctors training. I've always learned so much, and it gives you real confidence in the product. You don't have to share everything you learn, but you know in yourself how amazing the products are.
Shelley, can I say another thing quickly? You don't know what you're going to miss until after you've missed it. Mm-hmm. And then maybe you don't know you missed it because you weren't there. And I just like to tell this story. When we were in Thailand once, there was so much traffic. And so they said, oh, we're never going to get to the venue. So they decided to take everyone in the helicopter. And at the time, I was thinking to myself the first time round, the second time I didn't say no. The first time I thought, oh, you know, I don't really know if I want to go up in a helicopter. That was a long, long time ago. And but the guys that went in the helicopter, what happened, you know, they opened the event with everybody getting off the helicopter on the roof. And then I'm thinking to myself, I should have been there, you know. So, you know, you never ever say no because you don't know what you're missing, you know. And it wasn't just for being there, it's the all the stuff that goes along with it. It's the fact that you did it, you achieved it, you know, you did something you weren't too sure about or whatever. You just stepped forward, and so you've got to do that stepping forward to get the results and the reward.
So we'll have to make that as a Jennifer quote, because I know Richard Branson has one. If you ever opted opportunity and you're not sure if you can do it, say yes, and you'll work it out how to do it to go along, and you'll work it out later. So we can have our very own Jennifer quote, and we'll type that up and make one into a quote. So just so you know, on myherbalife.com.au, there's heaps of stuff about the Spectacular. You can order your tickets there. There's all the different promotions I'm bringing people. Obviously, they're going to have exclusive merchandise. There'll be the party's a circus theme, so that should be interesting.
That'd be great.
So I'm sure there'll be a lot of clowns and things like that. And so it should be really colourful and bright and amazing. And there's so many other things as well, with your VIP seating, the VIP dinner, and lots of other things as well. So photo opportunities with Dana as well. They've got lots of things by bringing people with you. So make sure you download and print off and just put it where you can see it, and also start looking at your accommodation. And if you can pile in with a bunch of people and make it easier and all travel together, especially if it's your first time, put your arms around people so that, we can all catch up together as well. So yes, I'll make sure I put any updates for the Spectacular on Challenge Yourself Daily as well. I think I'm due to do that. So we've got a 2-week break, and then we'll be into it again. And I'm looking forward to everyone being part of the calls next year and presenting and talking. And it's a great way to learn on here. And I'm sure you're probably sick of me talking by now. So great to have other people as well. And I love it. You know what? I've really appreciated it, because it's on one of my questions. What am I committed to? Each day is doing these calls. I'm committed to putting the PowerPoints together, to promoting it, and to doing it because I know it's good for my growth and consistency and leadership as well. So I've got it, and I appreciate it with what it gives me. So I want to give other people the opportunity as well. Okay.
And you have been a great leader this year, and you've been a great leader every year, and you deserve to be at the top, because you're out there, you're doing it for everybody. You've taken on the responsibility, and, I know I've really valued it, just, the little text that you've sent to me, etc. So, and you really you've walked the walk this year. You've been amazing.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's been a challenging year, as everyone would know, but it's been worth it, because I've grown a lot and I've learned a lot. And I know it's just the beginning. As Mark Hughes says, we're just getting started, and I really feel that, and I feel excited about what the next year and beyond is going to bring. And I really want to make an impact in these rural areas and go town to town and make the time to go out and do that. And I'm really looking forward to doing that in the coming year, and and putting that into action. So I look forward to seeing you all at the Spectacular. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and thank you, everyone. So we'll get this converted. I'll put the recording, and I'll also email it out. I normally send Jennifer the email recording as well, so if you want to blast it out to everyone, you can do that too.
Thanks, Shelley.
You're going to miss the call.
That's right. Which call was it?
Very much. Thank you, and have a Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah, thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Shelley.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
We'll see you next year.
To everybody also.
Wave to everyone. There's Floppy.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Bye.